Yes, hello. Welcome to Dr. Noor Firdaus channel, exploring the world of business management with Dr. Noor. Yes, uh, as you all know, I am trying to teach you the principles of management, and we have done with two modules. So the last class, we were discussing about the decision making, right? Where I taught you about the meaning and definition of decision making, and I also told about the process, how to take decisions. Now, you must have learned the art of taking decision making, right? But today I'll teach you what are the different models you can use while taking decisions. See, decision making is very important part of our life. Correct? In our personal life as well as in professional life, there are a lot of decisions which keeps on taking up. So, what are the models you can make use of, correct, while taking decisions? So that is what I try to teach you here. But before that, let me tell you something. Hope all of you are watching my videos, correct? And all of you are liking my videos and sharing my videos. If you have not done it, please support my channel, share my videos, write comments, anything you wanted, correct, or any clarification you have, please write comments, and please subscribe to my channel. Most of you are seeing my videos, but you are not subscribed yet. So it's a time to subscribe. So looking forward to see your subscription in the near future. Yes. With that, let us start with the today's topic. Yes, decision making model. Basically, there are three types of decision making models what you have. Correct. Whenever you are taking decisions, you can follow either of this model to take decision. Then the decision will said to be the correct one. Our decision is said to be the proper one. And these are the three models you have: classical model, administrative model, and political model. So what is classical model? As the name says, correct? Administrative model, then political model. Maybe you are guessing something here. Political, related to the politics, correct? So I'll tell you how it is related. Administrative, who's, now let me ask you one question. Who's the father of administrative management? Hope all of you know the answer. Please write in the comment box. Yes, it is Henry Fayol. So Henry Fayol have given 14 principles of management and 6 management functions. So whole management, the decision making, if you take based on his discipline, it is called as administrative model. Classical model is very traditional model what we make use of. Let us see one by one. So classical model, the single line what I have written in red color, right, talks about the different types of decisions. So logical decisions in the organization, best economic interest. So logical decision, classical model believes in logical decisions, and it focuses on the organization's best economic interest. So let me repeat what it is in a very simple language. Logical model, correct? The classical model believes in logical decisions, which aims at benefiting organization in economic terms. It ensures that organization is not making any loss by taking the decision. Organization should be profitable one. Correct? Never organization should make loss. So to earn the profit, what exactly then organization should do? So that is what we call it as the logical, correct, decisions in organization best economic interest. The assumption here is that the decisions are very much logical, right? Not emotional. It is very much logical because here the decision maker, the manager operates, correct, in a very noun and correct environment where full information is provided to him. He knows everything. The environment is very stable. Absolutely no changes are expected. Correct? Everything is very much clear. Then he will take up the decision. So there is no uncertainty here. There is and risk how much will be there. He is well aware of it. That is why the decision what he takes, we call it as rational decisions. Rational decision. That means the decision based on the information provided. I am not using my mind anywhere here. I am not using my expertise anywhere here. What facts and figures are telling, I am doing that. For example, at present, the government of Karnataka, correct, or all governments in India have decided to open up the schools. Correct, that is based on the facts and figures given by, correct, the doctors, correct, given by the various organizations, like maybe the wave 3 in India may get delayed. So till then, since most of the population are vaccinated now, so better to go ahead with starting of schools and colleges. And today all colleges are being opened, correct? And children are coming to the colleges maybe after 1 year or 1.5 years. So this is what is called as logical decision making. Based on data, the decision is being taken. Since it is vaccinated, so students who are vaccinated, correct, chances of getting infected are very less. They can report to the college. So based on that data, this decision is taken by the government. Let it be our prime minister or let it be the chief minister. They have taken such decisions. So this decision is truly correct based on the logical decision making, that is facts and figures. That is what is called as classical model. So normative is equal to describes how a manager should and provide guidelines for reaching an ideal decision. So they told very clearly. So the proper guidelines, as for example, now wave 3 is getting delayed, so we have opened up schools and colleges. But we have given guidelines to schools and colleges what they have to follow. Children should be vaccinated. They have to submit their vaccination certificate, correct? And fever check, temperature check has to be done, correct? And we have to ensure that they are not sick. If they are sick, we have asked them to stay back at home. So, and the teachers also should be vaccinated, and the social distancing has to be maintained. Very clearly, guidelines have been given. That is what is called as the normative. Here is that follow the guideline and do it. No personal, no expertise information here is used. That kind of model, we call it as classical model. The next you have second type of model, which we call it as administrative model. Administrative model is given by Herbert A. Simon. Please make a note of it. Administrative model is given by Herbert A. Simon. What he does, how non-programmed decisions are made. Correct? In the earlier, classical model was useful because all facts and figures was given to me. It was very easy for me to take decisions. So it is classical. But now the second situation have come where absolutely no facts and figures are there and I have to take decisions. And a lot of uncertainty is there everywhere. I don't know what is going to happen. You remember the government of India took the decision about the first time lockdown? That was, we didn't have any data. We were not knowing what is pandemic. We were not knowing what is COVID-19, how long it is going to happen, how people will get affected. We were not knowing anything. But just to protect the people, the Prime Minister of the country, Mr. Narendra Modi, correct? He just came and announced the lockdown. So that was an administrative model. You have to take up decision in uncertainty. So a lot of ambiguity will be there. So two concepts are instrumental in shaping this administrative model. One is bounded rationality. People have limits. Our boundaries are how rational they can be. So we have our own limits. We have our own boundaries. Every time we can't go very much rational. See, when we announced the first lockdown, we were knowing people are not prepared for lockdown. Most of them have nothing to eat. How will they survive? A lot of issues were there. But we were bonded, correct? We were bonded with the limited rationality. Saving the life of the people is important than anything else. So we have to take the decision. So that type of decision, we call it as bounded rationality. Then satisficing. Satisficing means the decision makers will choose the first solution alternative that satisfies minimal decision criteria. So things are very much confused here, very much ambiguous here. No proper information is provided. In spite of that, how much I am bonded, correct? How much knowledge I know, that much decision I will take. That is called bonded rationality. Satisfying means 5 alternatives are there, but I will select one alternative, correct, that satisfies my minimal decision criteria. So I may go for that particular concept. That we call it as administrative model. The next you have, correct, so how non-programmed decisions are made. Correct. So the same thing here. Manager actually makes decision in difficult situations, characterized by non-programmed decisions, uncertainty and ambiguity. Decision goals are vague, conflicting, and lack consensus among managers. So when the lockdown was announced, each party, correct, ruling our country had different opinion on it. The consensus was not there because whenever a man, in a same way in corporate life also, whenever manager take a decision based on uncertainty, he may not get consensus or support from everyone. People may criticize him. People may not accept it. But what to do? no information is available, so we are forced to take decision under such circumstances. That is what is called as administrative model. So rational procedures are not always used here. Rational, because I don't have data. How will I be rational? With the minimum data available, I have to take decisions. So managers settle for satisfying rather than maximizing the solution. I know very well it is not a maximum solution, but at least to an extent it will solve the problem. So that kind of compromising decision I am making because I don't have data with me, that is called an administrative model. So intuition looks to past experience. So here administrative model, they are just trying to see in the rational model, I told you personal expertise and resource knowledge is not used. But in administrative model, the decision maker own knowledge and his past experience, intuition is very much useful here. And this kind of decision making is descriptive. Descriptive means describing the decision based upon the situation. So how managers actually make decisions, not how they should do. How they should normally give them the guidelines what they should do. Correct? Now, we are clear about COVID-19, we have given guidelines. So it's a normative decision. Correct? It is a classical decision. But when we took the first lockdown, we had no data. We just want to protect the life of the people and we took up that decision that was descriptive decision. Correct? So that is called administrative model. Then the third type of model in decision making, what you have is political model. As you know, politics, correct? So how people will win the elections based on majority, right? All of us will go and vote for our favorite leader. So whoever gets the maximum vote will win. So that is what the decision making here closely resembles to the real environment in which most managers and decision makers operate. It's a real thing, how they take the decision in organization. So useful in making non-programmed decisions. Non-programmed decisions means the decisions which are not routine, which we don't take every time, which we do it based upon the requirement. Today, correct, it is required. So I am taking this decision. And these decisions are very much complex. Correct? Then disagreement and conflict over problem and solutions are quite normal. So people will say, no, people will start fighting. No, what are you talking? This will not solve the problem. That will not solve the problem. Conflict is very common here. So the type of solution for this type of model, political model is coalition. I told you, no? For example, majority wins the elections. But no one have got majority, all of them have got minimum. Then two people will join to form majority. That is what is called as coalition. So informal alliance among managers who support a specific goal. So specific in government, what happens? Formation of government is a goal. And three parties join together because none of them have got majority. They join together to form their government. That is called as coalition. In a political model, if you use a manager, uses in business world also same like that only. See, for example, I wanted to increase my sales. I wanted to give more incentives to my sales people. I'm interested in that. I want to take that decision. When I tell this to top level management will object. No, you can't do that. If you do that, our expenditure will go up. At present, we are not willing to increase our expenditure. Please postpone it. So there's a conflict between my thinking and top level. Then middle level managers also, some will support me, some will not support me. So differences will happen. So disagreement will happen. Then immediately I say, no, sir, we have to do that. Okay, 20% is not possible. At least 10% you give so that people will do well. Then I will convince the people, those who will support me. Like out of 10 departmental heads, 5 people agree with me. I'll take all 5 of them to the top level management, talk to them and convince them to agree. So that is called coalition. I am forming an informal alliance among managers who support a specific goal of giving the incentives or giving the hike in the salary to the sales people. So that is what is called as political model. I'll repeat 3 models of decision making. The first model is correct. The first model, what we discuss is the very much rational model, that is called as correct classical model. And classical model, the solution is normative. Second one is administrative model and the solution is descriptive. Third one is political model and the solution for that is coalition. So these are the 3 types of models one can use to take up the decision. And these models one can use based on the type of information you have and based on the goal you wanted to achieve. If you have full information and full certainty, go for classical. If both of these are minimal, go for administrative. If you have a goal, conflicting goal, and many people are involved in it, then go for political. So based on the situation, we select any one type of decision making model. Now you are the manager, correct? It is left to you to take whichever model of decision making you want to use. Now you may ask me, ma'am, how to select the model of decision making? Yes, it depends upon your own preference. You are the manager, you are the boss, you have to implement it. So it is based on your own personal preferences. Then second one, whether the decision is programmed or non-programmed. Programmed decision means the routine decision which I am taking for past 10 years. So same type of decision I can take. Non-program is an adverse. First time COVID have hit us. So whatever decision to fight with COVID we are taking is very first time I am doing it, correct? So that is what is called as non-program decisions. Then extent to which the decision is correct, then how much risk is there, then uncertainty is there and ambiguity is there. That is called a third factor. So based on these three factors, my own preference, if I am the decision maker, I'll take the decision based on three factors. First one is my own preference. Second one is the program or non-program decision. And the third one is how much risk is involved in the decision, how much ambiguity is there, how much uncertainty is there. Based on that, I'm going to take the decisions. Hope students, you are able to follow that. Yes, we have done the three models of decision making. Now quickly move on to the next very important topic that we call it as the techniques of decision making. Now, I told you what is decision making. I taught you the whole process of decision making. I told you three models of decision making. Now, let me quickly tell you how to take decisions. Techniques of decision making. Three techniques are used in decision making. One is brainstorming. Second one is nominal group technique. And the third one is Delphi technique. Delphi technique is also called as expert opinion technique. Right? So, what are these techniques? Let me explain you one by one. Brainstorming. Have you not heard about brainstorming? Brainstorming is one wherein I'll put all of you in one room. I'll just tell you, look, I wanted to give you 3 days continuous holiday because now Dussehra is coming. So for that continuously 1 week holidays I want to give you. Give me an idea. But we have so much of work also to be completed. So holidays also I should give and work also should be completed. Give me ideas how I can do it. So I will stand there with the board and the chalk. I'll be writing and all my employees will be sitting here and they'll be giving me ideas. I'll start writing down each and every ideas. Correct? 20 ideas I got. I'll write down all 20 points. Then I'll stop the brainstorming section now. I'll tell very good. Thank you so much. You have given me these ideas. Now let us shortlist the ideas. I will ask out of these 20 ideas, tell me which looks more feasible. Raise your hand for first one. No one raised, I'll delete it. Second one, 5 people raised, I take it. Then next 4, no one raised it. Like that, out of 20, some six decisions people have rated it. I'll take up those 6 for further processing and any one will be implemented. That is what is called a brainstorming technique of decision making. When I have to take decision unanimously, when I want everyone to involved in decision making, I can take decision like that in the organization. That is called as brainstorming. You hope you understood that. Then, what is nominal group technique? NGT. Nominal group, what happens is, rather than me standing there and asking you to speak, then 100, or my employees are 100 in number, all 100 ideas I'll get. It will take lots of time. So if I don't want to do brainstorming, what I can do is out of 100, I can form group. Every 10 is one group. I'll tell 1, 2, 3. Correct? Up to 10 I will tell. Then again 1, 2, 3. All one number, one group. 2 number, 2 group. 3 number, 3. Like that 10 groups I'll form. And I will tell them, please go discuss on this issue and come back to me. That is called a nominal group technique. Where rather than going for individual, correct? So what I'm doing is I'm just forming the group and asking them to take the decision. So the group will sit in one place, correct? They discuss the problem and they generate the ideas. See, 100 people I'm generating idea takes so much of time. Now each group they have only 10 people, so 10 ideas, and they try to record it, discuss it, and all the ideas they'll go through it. Then group members will vote for the top choices, then they will give it to me. So 10 groups will give me 10 solutions, anyone I will take. So that is what is called as. When I don't have time to go for nominal group brainstorming, I can go for nominal group technique. Correct? So that is, now I feel, ma'am, you may ask me one question. Ma'am, whatever decision making you are taking, employees only taking decision, ma'am. Maybe employees are not expert enough. Correct? So because brainstorming, employees are giving options. Nominal group technique, employees are taking options. Maybe, ma'am, they are not that expertise. You should take decision based on expert opinions. Expert opinion, ma'am. Why don't you invite some expert to talk on this, then take up the decision? Then that technique is called as Delphi technique. So Delphi technique, I'm going to take up decision based on experts. I will invite the experts, correct? I wanted to give correct holidays continuously, wanted to work also. So I have some production managers who have done extremely good in their job. I'll invite 4 of them, and I'll write down, correct? I will write down the correct issue in the questionnaire, and I'll send it to these 4 experts. See, I wanted to give 1 week holiday to my employee and this much of work to be done. So how exactly what can be completed? Give your ideas to me. I will send the questionnaire to others, and I'll tell my coordinator, please bring that questionnaire from all 4 of them and come back to me. Then as a manager, I will summarize the ideas given by the participants, and I'll take their feedback, I'll take their comments, and I'll repeat it. Whatever one have told, I'll give it to 2. That sheet I will exchange it. Questionnaire 1 given by 1 will be given to 2. 2 ka I'll give it to 1. Then 3 ka I'll give it to 4. 4 ka I'll give it to 3. I'll exchange the papers, and I continue this process till all of them will agree upon the one solution. And that solution, I will implement it as my decision. That is what is called as Delphi technique. Students, your commerce students, or your engineering students, correct? Or your management students, Delphi, or if you are correct, if you are writing any competitive exam, IAS exam, KS exam, or maybe the UGC NET, Delphi, when you take management as your specialization, these topics are very, very important. Like whatever I discussed today, no, these things only will come in MCQ. So when the experts are being given a questionnaire and they've been asked to come to a conclusion, then the decision is taken based on expert opinion, what it is called as Delphi technique. When the situation is very much uncertain and manager have to take the decision, so what model will he have to follow? What is the answer? Write in the comment box. Administrative model. So this type of questions are commonly asked in competitive exam. So please, that is how you have to prepare. So that is what I have today, students. This ends the topic decision making. I taught you decision making in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. And I taught you all the aspects related to decision making. Today, the models of decision making and techniques of decision making I taught you. Hope you are enjoying my classes, and I'm contributing to your knowledge enhancement. If yes, please watch my video full. Correct, full video you should watch. Then you should like my video. You write comment for me, which will help me to improve my teaching. And next thing is very important is please share videos to others. Share videos to your friends. Correct? Then please subscribe. Correct? You please subscribe to my channel and make others also to subscribe to my channel. By doing that, you'll be supporting my channel and motivating me to come up with much more videos in the near future. And don't forget to press the bell. Every day I will be launching the one video, so you should not be missing it. As a reminder, click on the bell button, so that gives you the reminder of my video. I've loaded the video, then you can go ahead with your learning. Happy learning. So I'll end the class now. So see you in the next class. Till then, take care.